Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, July 2026. I, of course, am the founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, today is Tuesday, July 28th. If you are watching this video and it's not Tuesday, July 28th, then you need to refresh the page and look for the most up-to-date video. Anyway, remember you can join me live. If you are here on the replay, do me a favor. Just give me hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. If you are here live, say good morning. Always want to hear from you. Big old welcome to the live, folks. Today's lock advice is cautiously float, but an eye on tomorrow's Fed meeting. We're going to talk more about that. Stick around and we'll give you all the details and a little bit of juice on what happened yesterday. So we want to go over that. Good morning, Tim Klyla, Sean Segaloff, Rob Stewart, Holly Johnson, Mallory Fotiadis. Sean Segaloff said, much better without the 5-minute pause after the text. That's just luck of the draw, I think. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So good morning, Amy Blauser, Paul George. Great to have you guys here as well. Brandy Brickler, good morning. So I'm kind of looking at the numbers. And again, I'm trying to make it so that we can start quicker and jump in quicker and keep it going. If you would like a reminder that I'm going live and you want to get that text alert a minute or two before the show starts, which is when I'm sending it now, sign up at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code over here. And I'll fire you off a quick text message as we are going live so you can jump on. Also, don't forget to sign up for our free email lock advice, www.ratelockadvice.com, or our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. So with that said, again, good morning, Angela Walters, Yasmin, Martin. Great to see so many of you. Let's go ahead and let's get started. We'll jump into the good stuff here and let's go. So quick start on where we're at this morning, what the technicals look like. You can see that mortgage-backed securities are currently up about 11 basis points on the day. That's enough that we're going to see some slightly better rate sheets. I'll talk about that in a second. The 10-year Treasury yield, 4.63. Certainly not stellar, but at least it's not higher. We'll talk about that as well. So quick recap, what happened yesterday. When you take a look here, bonds were basically flat on the day. You could see that, we of course have some trading, but overall ended the day about the same as where pricing came out. However, if we look at the 5-day, you could see the big jump right here. This improvement early in the morning, which is why we saw much better rate sheets yesterday than we had seen the day before. If we take a look, we are back up to 6.80, and it's funny, that's only a minor increase compared to what it had for Friday. I've got to figure that we saw a better increase than that. We did see a nice move, but I don't know. It's according to what they got on Mortgage News Daily. Rate sheets today will continue to get a little bit better again because mortgage-backed securities currently up that 10 basis points here. That's going to help things to improve a little bit this morning. Reprice risk on the day is low. I don't think we really have to worry about things getting nuts today. Generally, it's the calm before the storm ahead of the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting starts today, of course, and concludes tomorrow with the Fed's policy statement with their, any movement to rate, the setting of their Fed funds rate. And then we will see another press conference from Kevin Warsh. It will be his second press conference. Kevin Warsh's philosophy, Fed Chair Kevin Warsh's philosophy is very, very much not to give any forward guidance to markets about what the Fed is thinking. That is very different than what we've seen for the last few years and what we saw from Powell. Now, quick note. It's interesting that Powell is still on the Fed Board of Governors, but we don't hear anything about him. Not being dramatic, he's not making any drama. Doesn't seem like he's trying to undermine Kevin Warsh at all. I think he's just sticking around until they finally conclude that whole, we're going to sue the Fed. We're going to go after, Powell for the Fed building. So we'll see. We'll see when he's finally steps aside. And that will allow Trump to bring somebody else onto the Fed board. So he may be waiting, he may be dragging his feet and waiting to see how that goes as well. So it's kind of interesting. It's a behind the scenes thing. So quick, focus on what's moving things. Really, everything is pretty calm. It's very much like what we have seen over the last couple, or I'll say the last day because it was yesterday was Monday. But one thing that we want to note that happened yesterday, and I'm just adjusting the chart a little bit, and I'll get this lined up and we'll go over it, is that oil prices dropped down quite a bit. So oil prices, Brent crude, it dropped down. If we take a look at the last 5 days and we kind of look at it like this, you can see that this was the 23rd. This was Friday, and it was still up over Thursday. It was up over 100. Let's do the month so you can get the day to day. Let's be a little easier. Okay. So on Thursday, the 23rd, oil was up at over $100 a barrel. Brent crude. Friday dropped down 96.78. Opened at 100.67, dropped down to 96.78. And then on yesterday, it was all the way down to $88.36. It's a big drop. We've seen it really drop. This morning, it's down to 86.58. But bonds, even though we saw that improvement in bonds early, we didn't see any further improvement in bonds through the day, even though oil prices have come down. And what this kind of feels like is it feels like traders are holding back ahead of the Fed meeting. Right now, expectations of a Fed rate cut are, Fed rate hike, a Fed rate hike. It's basically more than we've seen in a long time. It's about a 30% or a 1/3 chance that we're going to see a Fed rate hike as soon as tomorrow at this next meeting. Markets are open to the idea that it could happen. And I think that despite what we see here in Fed futures not really changing, it's still 2-1, the expectation that we will see rates go higher. I think that markets are preparing just in case. I think traders are holding back. And we could see a relief rally if tomorrow, if everything holds steady. Markets are pricing in an expectation. It's over 80% expectation that we will have a rate hike by the September meeting, which is the next meeting about 6 weeks out. Now, there's an argument that this is ahead of the midterms. I would say that we certainly will not see one in October. The argument being, could we see one in September? I think markets are betting that this is far enough in front of the midterms to actually see an increase. So they'll be keeping an eye on this. Now, markets are pricing this in. Mortgage-backed securities, mortgage bonds, mortgage pricing already reflecting one rate hike. It's already kind of priced in there. When we look at these rate sheets, we see rates that are in the 6 and 7/8 area. We're already pricing in the idea that we're going to have one Fed rate hike. If that were to hike next month, then markets will start to believe that we could see 2 Fed rate hikes and we could see rates push higher. So that's kind of what we have. There is some risk floating into tomorrow, but I think we could see a relief rally. I think we could see bonds. Let me make this a little smaller so we can kind of look at it a little smoother here. We've seen, take a look here. This is the Japanese candlestick chart on this side, right? And when we see these green candlesticks and bond pricing goes up, the higher that bonds are selling for, the better your rate sheet pricing. The lower that bonds are selling for, and that puts us in the red, the worse your rate sheet pricing. And we saw that last week we had a brutal run where Friday was the only day of improvement. Every other day from the Friday before, where it went down, 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 down. We lost a lot of ground. And you saw that on your rate sheets, losing ground from, I got to look at the calendar, 17th to the 24th. So we were 6 5/8 here, and we pushed up to 6 7/8. So we lost almost a quarter point last week in rate if you look at the average on rate sheets. And you're seeing that in that movement lower, going from here down to here in mortgage-backed securities. Now, we're going to switch to green. We've seen some improvement. Now, don't let these red candlesticks fool you. They're red because of the open and where they were through the day, but they're not red. We're still up 10 basis points. It's just kind of an odd way that everything gets shown. The reason is that it's red is because if we take a look, today's it actually just turned green when I refreshed the screen. Yesterday's was red, even though we were up on the day, because it opened at 99.32, but it closed at 99.28. So it closed a few basis points lower than it opened. So technically it was worse from where it opened, but it opened at 99.32 after closing on Friday at 99.15. So it was already up, 18-ish basis points by then. So the pattern here that we're seeing, though, is an improvement pattern. And after tomorrow's Fed meeting, I think we could continue to improve. We could see another day of improvement, and it could improve rate sheets. We're not going to see rates that are going to get dramatically better, but even if we see them continue to move back down and get back to 6 and 3/4 instead of 6 and 7/8, that's what we want to see. We want to see further improvement. Now, after we get the Fed meeting next week, we've got labor data, so that'll play a little bit of a role. Hello, Sophia. Sophia wants to say hi, everybody. There you go. She always loves to come over when I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, if oil prices continue to fall, markets feel, I think we already talked about that one. If oil prices continue to fall, markets feel like the Fed is not going to hike rates more than once. That's what it is. So right now, markets are pricing in one rate hike. I say hike rates. Yeah, I see. Did I say cut again? Hike rates more than once. We're pricing in one Fed rate hike. If markets see a rate hike tomorrow, a surprise move, which they're not discounting altogether, because unlike previous Fed administration or Fed Chair Jerome Powell, like I said before, Fed Chair Kevin Warsh is big on not providing forward guidance and letting the Fed make their decision. So markets are leaving the door open that he could surprise them with a Fed rate hike. Hopefully, after last week's inflation data and things calming down in the Middle East again, that will take away some of that pressure. So we'll be waiting to see where that goes. But anyway, and then for 30 plus days, we want to go ahead and cautiously float. The current outlook is that rates will be a little bit actually, I changed the beginning, but not the bottom. So anyway, cautiously float those ones. We'll come back to that one. So that's it for today, y'all. Hopefully that helps. Remember, a couple of things to tell you about. Check out originatorssuccess.com. That is one of our products here at Hammer Solutions. We help you be found, be chosen, be remembered. We help you with Google and AI search. We provide you with websites. You may say, I already have a website. Doesn't matter. Our websites are designed to help you rank higher on Google search and AI search. We also help you to generate reviews, which is a big part of ranking as well as converting those loans. And we also keep you in touch with past clients, prospects, anybody that's thinking of doing something, and agents. We have what I will call a light CRM that won't bog you down, but will keep you in front of everybody and keep you getting loans. So be sure to check that out at originatorssuccess.com. You can also check out Grab and Go Social if you want help getting more out of social media. It is a 3-part program. It's got content every day. We provide you with fresh content to go out and post, so you don't have to think about it. You do have to post it. Why? Because we want you to get the business. You got to work it a little bit so that you get that boost on social media, but we do give you the content. It's customizable if you want to. Otherwise, you could just grab and go. And then we've got coaching every week. Today, Tuesday, I think Austin's going to be showing what videos you need on YouTube to get loans. And then we've also got community. So check that out, Grab and Go Social, and you can sign up for $7 for the first month. After that, it's less than $100 a month. Go check it out. So, all right, my friends, if you want a reminder that I'm going live so you don't miss a moment of the show, hmmr.io/reminder. And that's it. So let me see if you guys have anything else to say. I'm going to check the comments. What do you guys like about the current format? We're 14 minutes in. Just curious. Let me know in the comments if you like the current format or you liked it the older way, or the way it was before, where I kind of stayed on a little bit longer. Let's see. Sean Segloff said milk chocolate day, not to be confused with chocolate milk day. Yeah, let's see which where is, oh, there it is. It's National Milk Chocolate Day. Milk chocolate sucks. I'm a dark chocolate guy. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Milk chocolate or dark chocolate or white chocolate, which is not even really chocolate. It's like the cream left over from making chocolate. But let me know in the comments, are you a milk chocolate, a dark chocolate, or white chocolate kind of person? Let's hear it. Let's hear it from you guys. So put it in the comments. Let me hear from you, and we'll wrap it up. Doobie-doobie-doo. Good morning, Elmir Krivdik, Kathy Jensen, Randy Teagle, giddy up, sir. Happy birthday again to Bailey. Happy belated birthday. Hope she had a great day and hope she has a great year. Michael Garcia, milk chocolate only? Ew. Thought you had taste. White Russian. I don't know if that counts as chocolate, dude. But hey, We can find out. So a mudslide, yeah, mudslide. At least what is that? That's Kahlua and cream, and I don't know what a White Russian is. Milk chocolate. Brian Reed, yuck. You guys are killing me. Dark chocolate or bust, but it's got to be good dark chocolate. Deb Dickinson, she is less discerning. She's going all chocolate. I get that. Amy preferred dark chocolate. Still love a good creamy milk chocolate. All right, we'll still be friends. Angela loves a new format. Okay, good. So because we're keeping things faster, and then we kind of have fun at the end here. White Russian makes sense to Ron Siegel. Adult milk chocolate. There you go. That makes sense. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up, y'all. Thanks again for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Make it a great one. Bye-bye.